Okay. It's gonna be a hot one today. Okay, it's May 1st, 2025. I guess that's May Day. So anyway, a lot of people plant their cannabis or whatever vegetables. Mother's Day is a really good landmark, but I checked the weather and I'm not too concerned about the ground being too cold, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant Blue Dream today because, like I said, the ground will be fine for the roots. It's a pretty hardy plant. It's pretty much pest resilient. It's pretty good on funguses and whatnot. I mean, obviously all marijuana in the Pacific Northwest, when the buds get fat, if you're not very vigilant on watching them, you're gonna get some mold usually, but there's ways around that too, but that's on another video. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant her today, and I'm not gonna put a lot of information about her phenotype because it's too extensive. I'll just put it down in the comments. This is basically just gonna be what you can use to give it its best chance at having a big plant and a huge harvest. So first off, what I think I'm gonna put in the hole is, if you look down here, you can see some of this really rich organic compost. I mean, just look at that. It's fucking beautiful, right? I could package that shit. But anyway, so I got this underneath my pine trees. I've been in this house for 30 years. It's a 70s home, and these were all under my pine trees, and you just can't ask for better soil. So anyway, I'm gonna put this. Oh, there's a worm even. Anyway, I'm gonna put that in there because you see what you're looking for when you're growing cannabis and many other plants, obviously, is you want really good aeration, and you don't want the soil to compact, because if it does compact, then obviously you're not going to have good aeration, and your plants roots are not going to be able to spread out freely, and you're not going to have as big as a plant. Just all kinds of shit's going to go south. You're not going to have good buds or nothing. So remember that, you know, if you see some shit topsoil, just topsoil like this, you know, don't plant your plant in topsoil like that, because it's going to compact like cement, and it's going to suffocate it, and you're going to have nothing but problems. You're going to have root rot. You just don't do it. You're going to have all kinds of shit, mate. Just keep in your head, you know, just like anything living, the plant needs to fucking breathe, and it needs to be able to get nutrients. It needs to be able to take nutrients into its body, just like your body, you know. Everything's fucking related in this universe. You know, I'm always talking about shit like that, especially on my blog. So anyway, we're gonna do this fast because it's hot as fuck out here. And that's another thing. A lot of people don't like to, you know, they say, oh, don't plant it in the middle of the day, you know, it's gonna shock it and kill it, and do it even in the evening or the morning. Well, some of you rookies, go ahead and go by that, because it's good. That's good, that's true, but I'm not too worried about it. I've been doing this a long time, and this damn good plant is not gonna die from its roots feel a little too warm, okay? Might just have a good time. So we're gonna commence and do this right this second. And right now I have some top dirt on here that I'm not too concerned about, because underneath I already know I've got some fine mulch. So we're gonna just do this right now. I'm just gonna use my hands. Drink some coffee. My blood. Out of stomach muscle. I gotta check my dryer. I think it's broke, because this is an extra large, and I know it wasn't this tight before, so there's something wrong with my dryer. But I'll deal with that on the next video. So I'm gonna plant this now. It's a great concert, though. I believe it was the last AC/DC concert I saw. It was oh fuck, come on, brain. I used to be able to tell you the actual date. I can tell you the year, 2016. That's the best I can do. Okay. I didn't say the year. I meant, okay. Where are we at here? Sun's here. That's another thing. If you're planting cannabis in your backyard, watch your sun. You know, see where you got the most sun during the whole spectrum of the day, and just, you know, plant it where you get the most sun, obviously. So I have a little shovel, but we'll see what happens. Oh, wow, it fell out of the sky. Look at that. Fucking only got 2 wishes left. That was a waste of a wish. Anyway, I'm gonna put it right here. Oh, maybe I did. Oh, somebody. I gotta get a hold of my assistant and tell him that this is not no bueno with this hard shit right here. It's still okay though. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. But just remember, ooh, look at that worm. Nice worm right there. Oh, worm castings are awesome. It's just some things you put in there. There's some more worms. You want an organic mixture, obviously. There's a lot of different soils they tell you, but I can tell you right now, where I live, it's loamy. Loam is more or less this stuff what you have here. That's topsoil, and then if you dig down a little further, you're going to get sand, and then you're going to get clay, and that's what loam is. Silt too. We got a lot of that because Mount St. Helens is really close to me. When it blew, we got lots of volcanic ash, so it's just fucking primo around here, you know. And the only problem is we just don't have the sun like California does, right? So that can be a problem. So anyway, about aeration, there's lots of things you can do for aeration. You know, you can use pumice. Pumice is great. You can use vermiculite. It's also a solid type porous material that allows the roots not to get compacted by soil, and the water can move freely through the roots, and the plant will thrive. And I ran out of perlite, so I'm kind of irritated about that, but we're just going to make this work. We're going to see what we got here. Pause it for a minute. Pause the video for a minute. No one wants to see me dig.
Go.
Okay, I'm back. So I got the whole dug. You helping, Morphe? Okay, so like I said, what you do is, like, you know, I think this one right here is in a. I know how I go by. Oh, that's a 6-inch. Because never mind, I won't tell you how I know. But anyway, I'm gonna put this in here. So this is how you do it. You just here's that mulch over here. Here's that mulch over here. We're gonna bring it over here, baby. Beautiful. Beautiful organic soil in the hole. There it is. All that awesome 30-year-old organic stuff. There's my secret right there. I'll put a link, you can buy some. All right, it's throw in the hole, you know. Throw that in the hole. Okay, now here we got Blue Dream. Blue Dream has been I've been doing a slow veg with her, and that's how you get big plants, like I said in my previous video. Anyway, so it's already got a hell of a root system. It's easily outgrown this 6-inch pot and is definitely root bound, but that's what I wanted, because as you know, sativas can get up to 16 foot tall, and I didn't want that happening in my house. So here we are, and here she goes. We're just gonna clear the hole out, like yay. About how deep the pot is 6 inches, right? So then you know where the top is. Pretty simple. Right there, it's pretty good right there. So then you just loosen it up like this, squeeze it. Just squeeze your pot like that, or hurt it. What I like to do is I like to break up the roots. Sometimes it just depends on how bad it's root bound. I don't know. It might be really bad. It might be wrapped all around the plant. It might not. So you just tip it upside down. It is root bound. See? It's root bound. See how the roots are everywhere like that? Okay, now you guys remember that this is still a weed, regardless. You know, and it's pretty resilient. It is the middle of summer, and like I said, yeah, you should probably do your planting in the early morning or in the evening to prevent any kind of stress on the plant. But this isn't going to stress her out. She's too fucking badass. It's a really good genetic strain I've had for 4 years now. Got one seed left. I'm going to make a mother plant out of. Oh, I'm just going to clone the crap out of her too, though. I don't want to lose this Blue Dream strain because it's really, really good. It's good for sleep. It's good for anxiety, aches, pains. It's good for all the labels the government likes to give you, like bipolar, ADHD. This works better for me than any drug. you know, because it is a drug. The thing Big Pharma give you are just Band-Aids, as you know. They're not they're alleviating it, but they're not curing anything, because there's no money in curing. You all know that. It's God's medicine right here. It's the universe's medicine. Don't let them fool you. Biggest fucking fake news ever, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. That'll be in another video too. But anyway, I'm gonna loosen these roots up a little bit, because like I said, comes from a seed. It has a taproot, which is one major root that will just keep going down, and it's not gonna hurt this plant. You'll see. So I loosened it up, you know. I don't beat the hell out of it. I just kind of loosen it up a little bit. Let it know that it's going on a little different journey right now. So it's free now outside where it's going to flourish. It's not terribly root bound, so I'm just going to leave it right like that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to molest it any more than I need to, you know. So we'll just put this beautiful soil on it, and you're gonna see a Pacific Northwest record for Blue Dream this year. Anyway, it's hot as fuck. I'm sweating. Anyway, you tap it down. Okay, hold on. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Tap it down. Tap it down. You don't need to fucking press on it hard. Let it fucking water and shit and all that will do its own compacting. You don't need to stomp on it or any of that horse shit. I had notes, but I didn't use them, so told you I was gonna wing it. It just told about other things you can get for aeration, but nowadays you got AI. Just look it up. Ask Google. This is just some hands-on stuff that I know because I've done. So I'm gonna put some secret sauce on it right now. Not the kind of secret sauce you're thinking of. So, you dirty-minded people anyway. Okay. Put a little more of this awesome 70s beautiful organic soil. Everything was better in the fucking 70s. You know what I mean? It's like, instead of racism, I wish bell bottoms and peace signs would come back. So anyway, I'm gonna dump this shit on it right here. Okay, this says Alaskan fish fertilizer, which is awesome, full of nitrogen. What they need when they're vegetation more than anything is they need nitrogen when they're in the veg state. Basically, this is nitrogen, but it's not what's in here. It's actually blood meal, which is I like, because it's 3% active nitrogen that the plant will get right away, and 6%. I wouldn't say non-viable, but it's not immediately absorbable nitrogen, and so it's a good thing. So it's continually feeding it a little bit. Oh, and they come in pellets usually, so that's how more likely how it feeds it slower, but I put it in water, so that's all you need to know. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit, give it to her, and we're done. Eat it out, it's hot. Shaking my fat ass. Okay, there you go, girl. Her first outdoor feeding. In the ground, anyway. You just kind of give her some water. They say you shouldn't even do that. Okay, here's the thing about watering, which is true. You really should do it in the morning, because then you have all day the sun to dry it out, and you don't have, you have less chance of funguses, root rots, any kind of microorganism that's bad for your plant, because it sits all night in that warm earth, and then that's how bacteria forms, obviously, stuff like that, warm environment like that. But anyway, so water them in the morning, or water them, in the morning. That's your best bet. So that's it. Okay, rock out.